Chapter 3. Post-secondary preparation. High school is a microcosm of life. Use your time wisely before graduating to the next level. A quote by Kenny Glenn. Life is a game, and in America, high school is another level for students to complete before being taken seriously. Like the board game Monopoly, there are prices you must pay to get where you want to go, even the prices you do not want to pay. You will read about my personal experience in Chapter 4. This chapter is composed of the advice I give to most high school students. Before I dive into the specific points of preparation, I urge each high school student to ask themselves and answer the self-assessment questions listed on the next couple of pages. If you are reading this as a high school graduate, use these same questions for high school students that you mentor or encounter. 1. What do I genuinely want to do after high school? Do not give the generic answer that you think your peers, parents, or teachers will accept as good. Be honest and carve your own path. What are the people I want to be like doing on a day-to-day basis? What are they wearing? What are they reading? What information are they constantly consuming and from what sources? What did they do to get where they are? 2. What is currently available to help make sure that what I want to do after high school becomes a reality? Examples include mentors, counselors, teachers, and alumni who have done it already. Or books and videos also explain certain processes. 3. What are my academic goals? Which classes are my favorite and least favorite? Which classes am I best at and worst at? Is this because of my teachers, my natural ability, or my level of effort? What actions have I taken to get the help I need? Do I have access to a tutor? Do I plan to go to college? If so, where? Public or private? In-state or out of state? How much will it cost? How will I pay for it? Whether it's FAFSA, scholarships, loans, etc. What GPA and test scores do I need? 4. What are my extracurricular goals? Improvement in the arts, whether it be music, cooking, photography, etc. Athletics, getting specific stats and college offers. Increased network and social interaction through organizations, community service, etc. Employment, which is future career advancement or short-term financial necessity. 5. What are the top 3 distractions that take time and energy away from achieving my goals? Activities include flirting, social media, and too much unnecessary time on the phone. Emotional concerns might include trouble in the home or trouble in your neighborhood. Personal responsibilities might include taking care of my family and working a job because I need the money. 6. Do my family and friends support and respect my dreams and the sacrifices I must make to achieve them? Paying attention to your environment. Our environment is stronger than nature, and we unconsciously follow and think like those we interact with most. Although you may have a large network of people you associate with, we become the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. When you are a student, this includes parents, siblings, friends, classmates, teammates, teachers, community members, and even yourself. This also includes people we have not met in real life, like celebrities we admire from music, movies, and social media. Notice that wealthy people hang out with wealthy people. Engineers hang out with engineers. Crackheads hang out with crackheads. What does who you spend the most time with say about you? Even with these generic labels, you do not have to do everything with the same person or group of people, as we are multifaceted beings with different interests and hobbies. If you do everything with the same people, you are limiting yourself and the benefits of having an expansive network. No matter how much you and someone else have in common, no 2 people are exactly alike, not even identical twins. To serve as an example, in high school, I was an honor roll student on the academic team and the basketball team. I was well above average height, but during 9th and 10th grade, my closest friends were shorter than average. In college, I was on the track team, but I also hung out with athletes from other sports and even students who were not college athletes. Today, I am a black man, but I spend time with friends from all different backgrounds and nationalities, regardless of their religious or political affiliations. With this awareness, you can now design your own path. I have family members who have been shot or have thrown away their futures because of drugs and incarceration. On the flip side, I also have cousins who have great jobs or profitable businesses, travel all around the world, and live peacefully. Regardless of who your parents are or who you are related to, as said by Jeremy Anderson, your DNA does not determine your destiny. Your decisions do. Who will you choose to follow and interact with? Leveraging school and defining success. High school simply provides the foundational knowledge that our current society tells us we need. However, if students do not leverage school correctly, they will view it as a waste of time. It is wise for you to figure out who lives the life you want and then learn from those people with intention. Teachers may not teach this within their curriculum, but teachers might have the perfect network of resources to still help you reach your goals. Use school and the opportunities it presents to develop skills that will help you reach your definition of success. Skills like public speaking, critical thinking, fostering meaningful relationships, and working with teams. Allow me to delve into defining success for yourself. People may try to tell you what success is, but success is a word you must define for yourself. It takes time and patience to achieve your definition of success, as nothing happens overnight. A woman is pregnant 9 months before she pushes her baby out into the world. Not 9 days or 9 weeks, but 9 months. This is an example to show that it takes time to grow and bring your ideas into reality. We live in an impatient society that wants things to be seedless, microwaved, and shipped to us ASAP. But the best and healthiest food had to be planted by seeds. Then, it took time, patience, and cultivation for those seeds to grow into what we can use for food. During the growth phase, the seeds had to burst and go through the pain of being uncomfortable so they could become what they were destined to be. Then, we all know that food is best when cooked in the oven or on the stove. This takes longer than the microwave, but it is worth the wait for many reasons. Use this seed analogy for your journey towards success. We must also realize that success is not an accident. In the book Outliers, the author Malcolm Gladwell dissects the many factors that attribute to someone becoming successful. Decisions that your ancestors made, the city you live in, or someone that you randomly met, all come together to attribute to your success. But no matter what, it comes down to the choices you make with your available options. What I want you to focus on is being grateful for everything you have and everything that has ever happened to you. Even if that thing is typically labeled as bad, find a way to see the good and use it for your benefit. Did you grow up in a bad neighborhood? Good. You were able to learn from your environment and translate those lessons into bettering your future. Did someone break your heart? Good. Now you can learn how to better love yourself. Your parents did not go to college? Good. You can be the first in your family to attend, graduate, and leave an impactful legacy. I can give more examples, but hopefully you get the point. The illusion of time. 2 critical preparation points are the illusion of time and the 4 E's of post-grad options. I created this phrase during a school board meeting when I noticed how quickly 4 years of school can fly by. When students enter their first year, they think and feel like they have all the time in the world to figure out what they are going to do. But then, all too often, they arrive at senior year more quickly than they realized, still without any concrete plans. Here is a simple grade-by-grade breakdown to help students capitalize on their time. 9th grade. This is the year students set their foundation. Your GPA and the type of classes you will take for the rest of your high school career are dependent on this year. Do your absolute best to avoid low grades or failed classes. You do not want to put yourself in a hole and then play catch-up while your classes become more difficult. Build a positive reputation for yourself in terms of academics and character, and let it follow you throughout your remaining school years. Build positive relationships with the faculty and staff, including teachers, administrators, coaches, and guidance counselors. Not everyone will be helpful, but you will find people who recognize your potential and look out for you. They will be the ones who will write strong recommendations for you later. 10th grade. Depending on the city and state you live in, this is the year you can make a life-changing decision. In my hometown of Cincinnati and other cities in Ohio, students can choose to attend a vocational school that their high school will pay for. For 2 years, you could go learn a trade like HVAC, plumbing, or welding. Think about what your interests are and the problems you can help solve. Let me be the one to break the stigma. Contrary to the common assumption, a student who chooses to attend a vocational school while they are in high school can still go to college afterward. Here is a story about how important this decision really is. My friend and high school teammate, Andrew Wilfong, chose to follow his dreams of becoming a registered nurse and playing college basketball. He was also a class clown who made the jump from special education classes to honors courses, which meant that he had the option of going either route. He chose to not attend Great Oaks, which was the trade school option for juniors and seniors at our high school. 3 years after graduating from high school, he had accumulated over $40,000 in student loan debt after switching colleges multiple times while chasing a career he did not truly love. The only reason he gravitated towards nursing is because his mother chose that career path. He eventually found his passion in HVAC and had to pay another institution so he could master it and become certified. My friend's story also illustrates that the final decision is always yours and that you should never be afraid to redirect yourself if you think it would be in your best interest long term. The change was better late than never. Today, he earns an above average salary as one of the top HVAC specialists in Cincinnati. Now, what if he had chosen to attend a vocational school in high school? Since he wanted to be a nurse, it would have been wise to attend Great Oaks for that specialty. While at Great Oaks, he could have realized how much he disliked nursing and switched his focus to learning about HVAC. Then, he could have become certified and received multiple job opportunities right after high school. On top of that, he still could have gone to college to play basketball while having the opportunity to get paid for his HVAC skills. 11th grade. This is the last year that colleges truly pay attention to on your transcript for admission to their institution. They will look at your GPA from this year and previous years, as well as the types of classes you plan to take during your senior year. For athletes seeking to play at the college level, this is an especially important season. By doing your absolute best as a junior, you place yourself under less pressure as a senior. 12th grade. This is it. After this, you will no longer be treated the same. As a graduate and an adult, you will be swimming in the real world. Enjoy this last year with your classmates and teachers because once you graduate, it may be decades before you see most of them again. Some relationships will last a lifetime, others will not. You will realize that some of your friends were only friends because you saw them every day. Just remember that it is perfectly normal to grow apart. Cherish the memories, but do not lose sight of what is best for your future. After you graduate, it is important to know that there will be many instances where you will wonder, how come nobody told me this while I was in school? Regardless of what you were or were not taught, it is your responsibility to never stop learning. If you are going to college, think about financial aid. Complete the FAFSA as early as possible. You should be applying for scholarships every week. It is also a great idea to check in with the guidance office regularly to see if they have useful ideas. If you are not going to college, start planning out your financial situation. Here are some sample questions to answer. Where will I live after graduation? Where will I work? How much longer can my parent or parents cover me on their health, dental, and vision insurance? Out of all my classmates, who are my closest friends? The 4 E's of post-grad options. Students must plan for what they will do with their lives after high school graduation. They have 4 basic options. 1. Enrollment. 2. Employment. 3. Entrepreneurship. 4. Enlistment. E1. Enrollment. Students have the option to enroll in college or trade school after graduating from high school. I advise all students to take considerable time to think about why they want to attend college or trade school. Trade school is a more direct path because the student must focus on a specialty, such as nursing, electrical work, or construction. College can be a vague choice if you choose a major outside of engineering, law, medicine, or business. Some people may blindly tell you to go to college, but I am not one of those people. This is a thought that goes through the minds of some students. Why go to college? I see so many graduates complain about and get stressed out over student loan debt, or some say they could have obtained their jobs without college. But beware, the opposite is also true, as many people wish they could have gone to college with the experience and vast network. We all know college can be expensive without scholarships and grants, but it is worth it if you leverage it correctly. My advice here is to find current college students and college graduates and ask them questions that will expose the truth about their personal experiences. Do not just ask them about the fun stuff. Ask about the finances, like scholarships, loans, and current debt, their application processes, the required ACT or SAT scores, their majors, their course loads, the greatest lessons they have learned, and if they have any regrets. If you choose to go to college, be sure you are going for the right reasons and with the mission to receive a positive return on your investment, which is your money, your time, and your energy. Here are the main reasons that students attend college. Students want more time to mature while removing uncertainty. Even with a plan, many high school graduates are not sure what they truly want to do with their lives. Societal pressure says you will be a failure if you do not attend college. Students want to meet and network with past, present, and future students and staff. Students are surrounded by people who are on the same quest, as well as university faculty and staff who have already gone through the college process and want to help current students. They want the dream and the experience. Living on a college campus is a student's opportunity to experience freedom by living in a new environment and being less restricted by the rules of their parents. Students also want to go through the struggle of a poor college student, attend parties, live in dorms, eat in buffet-style dining halls, eat ramen noodles, pull all-nighters for papers and exams, and join organizations. They want to specialize in a field of study and expand their career options. Ultimately, students are rewarded with degrees and employment. But also, athletes want to continue with their sports. E2, employment. Becoming an employee is what school was created for. The current school system is still modeled in this way, and the curriculum supports that. I am not bashing anyone who chooses the employee route. Businesses need employees, and employees need what businesses offer them, which includes experience, guaranteed income, paid vacations, healthcare insurance, retirement benefits, networking, and a sense of belonging. Look at being an employee as an opportunity for being paid to learn. With anything you do at your job, you are acquiring skills and learning a certain way of accomplishing tasks. For many entrepreneurs, being an employee was their first investor. They used the dollars they earned from their job to pay for what they needed to become an entrepreneur. E3, entrepreneurship. According to Oxford Languages, the Oxford English Dictionary, an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. If you choose this route, be sure to have a plan, analyze your risk, and know you are getting on the wildest emotional roller coaster of your life, the field of sales. A business owner either sells products, services, or both. Sales run the world because everything we consume is sold to us by someone or some entity. It is also important to know the hilarious fact that anything can be sold. Companies have earned millions of dollars from selling pet rocks. As an entrepreneur, you have tons of options to choose from. Every year, hundreds of thousands of new companies are created and closed. Business is cutthroat, and no matter what you sell, There will always be competition in the market. It is up to you to find your niche and then master the art of negotiation and sales. Ask yourself questions like, what am I going to sell? How am I going to sell it? Who is my target customer? How much does it cost to start? There are many more questions you could ask. Nonetheless, these simple questions are why it is important to study other business owners. By seeking advice from those who are doing what you want to do, you can learn from their processes, successes, and mistakes. This is also a way to figure out what you need to get started. Ask about estimated dollar amounts, certifications, licenses, and years of experience. Be courageous when you ask questions, as this is no different than questioning college students and graduates, current and former employees, or active and retired members of the military. Also, know that an entrepreneur can have multiple streams of income that stem from their primary business. A cosmetologist could sell hairstyling services while also selling custom hair products. They could then create a tagline like extra crispy and print it on t-shirts for their customers to buy. They could also own a building and then rent booths out to other cosmetologists. Next, they could author a book for cosmetologists all around the world, teaching them how to grow their clientele. They could also perform workshops and private sessions to help cosmetologists in training. Be creative. While reading this, someone may think, I could also be an entrepreneur by illegally selling drugs. Yes, this is an option, but a super risky one. Trust me when I tell you that it is much less stressful to choose legal options. Consider the wisdom of successful entrepreneur John Hope Bryant. In an Earn Your Leisure interview entitled Inside the Vault, How John Hope Bryant is Empowering a Nation with Financial Liberation, he acknowledges that drug dealers understand import, export, marketing, wholesale, retail, customer service, territory, and logistics. However, he urges us to take his advice. A drug dealer or neighborhood hustler is not dumb, but they are making a dumb decision by choosing to stay in an illegal game that is rigged against us. Use the skills you have to do something legal. I hope this sticks with you. E4. Enlistment. Joining the military is another viable option for students and graduates who are uncertain about what they want to do with their lives. This provides many benefits and opportunities to travel while meeting new people. However, be conscious of the freedom you are giving up for those benefits. My father served 20 years in the military, and it came with essential aspects like housing, food, clothing, healthcare, discounts at certain stores, and special interest rates for cars, home loans, and insurance. Serving in the military allowed my father to meet my mother, as she also served. Although my father did not attend college, his service helped to pay for more than 90% of my college tuition. I also have friends who joined before, during, and after college to help pay for their tuition and loans. A combination of ease. Although I have given you the 4 options you have after high school, you do not have to choose only one. You can choose 2, 3, or all 4. You could be a teacher during the day while also joining the National Guard Reserve. Added to that, you could be a virtual yoga instructor while taking online college classes to advance your career. This is just an example to spark thought. Try not to stretch yourself too thin. The journey of deciding. Each of the options has its own pros and cons, as none of these options are all sunshine and rainbows. Many entrepreneurs face economic and emotional hardships. Some college students regret their schools of choice. Some members of the military miss their families and freedom. Some employees dislike following directions from superiors. Take the necessary time to figure out what you want to do. Try new things, find your passion, and open your mind to the endless possibilities that you can find or create. Learn what is necessary, then take action. If you fail, learn from it and try something different. Just because your ideal job, school, or business idea is not popular does not mean that it doesn't exist or that you cannot create it. It may even be on social media, but you just do not see it based on the accounts you follow. I am referring to the types of companies that make millions of dollars per year. They may not be popular, but they will always be needed. We are all entrepreneurs, whether you own your own business or not. If you become an employee, you are an entrepreneur, and your employer is your largest client. Place emphasis on largest, not only. You can have a side hustle to increase your revenue streams and get paid for something that aligns with your passion. We are also multifaceted people. It is okay to express yourself in different areas while making money. You could have a six-figure salary as an engineer for Google, but still love to do photography on the weekends for local weddings. You can relate life to being in school, as you are given problems and then tasked with finding the solution. However, there are many ways to solve whatever problem you are faced with. In math class, I hated showing my work or writing out the process of how I got the answer. But now I see the reason why it was important to do so. By showing how I solved the problem, I can help others with their problems and even get rewarded for it. Do not let this analogy go over your head. This is the road to riches, wealth, and internal satisfaction. Earning income to help people solve problems to make their lives easier. You may still be asking yourself, but how do I figure out what I want to do? My advice is that you do this by visualizing and questioning what others do and by gaining experience in different jobs, roles, and industries. Most importantly, figure out what problems you are passionate about solving and then find a job that allows you to do so. You could also create a business. However, whether you choose to own your own business or not, you are still the CEO of your life. This means you are responsible for how disciplined and successful you are. I understand life in school can become overwhelming. Remain calm and take things one day at a time while accomplishing one task at a time. From the book, The One Thing by Gary W. Keller and Jay Papasan, a great question to constantly ask yourself is, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Here is an excerpt from the book Rich and Righteous by Julian Gordon to further elaborate on the journey of deciding. You are the cure to someone's cancer. It may not be the type of cancer you need chemotherapy for, but people have all types of cancers or problems in their life that you and your purpose are the solution to. Cancers come in many forms: financial, emotional, professional, mental, social, familial, nutritional, etc. You may solve problems for individuals or for organizations. Individuals experience problems at every level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, whether the need be physiological, safety, belonging and love, self-esteem, or self-actualization. And then, organizations have problems in terms of marketing and sales, systems and processes, finances, and people. Pick your problem. My job experiences. You may become an employee at 10 different companies before you figure out what you love to do. I held many different jobs in high school and college, and they all taught me something. Whether it was skills, conversational talking points, or finding what I like and dislike. See the next page for a list of those jobs. Neighborhood lawn care, which was independent work. Time and energy are our number one commodities. I can only cut a certain amount of grass within a day for a low, fixed amount of money. Kings Island. While working in park admissions, I noticed how they mastered the thrill and entertainment industry as well as the back-end logistics. I also saw the insane markup on food due to the scarcity of available options for visitors. Sears. I saw this retail company die slowly with the shortage of daily customers. I also got fired, which taught me the lesson that we are always being watched. Escape theaters. I learned that the movie theaters make most of their money from concessions. Fur Haven Pet Products, which is a warehouse factory. I quickly realized that working on my feet all day was not for me. This was a seasonal job, and when the manager asked who wanted to be let go first, I gladly raised my hand. Miami Business Summer Camp. This camp demonstrated that most students are oblivious about college and life after high school. This was another spark in realizing how I could help those who followed in my footsteps. KPMG, which is a corporate accounting firm. I learned the power of networking, office politics, and how large companies utilize accounting. I thought this would be fun, but none of the positions piqued my interest. Dear Kenny, along this life journey, there will be societal pressures saying that you must have every single detail of your future already figured out. But the truth is that life is an unpredictable journey. No life has ever existed that went exactly as they planned. Yes, it is important to plan and have goals, but know that the only constant is change. The people around you will change, your mindset will change, and your desires may change. Be flexible with this change, and do not place too much pressure on yourself to have every single detail of your future already figured out. When something does not happen in the exact sequence you envisioned, it can cause depression if you are being inflexible or placing too much pressure on yourself. There is such thing as age or time pressure that makes us feel like we are behind or in constant competition. Society, family members, and peers who have been programmed to follow tradition will say things like, by age 18, you should move out of the house. By age 25, you should have 2 college degrees and a job that pays you $60,000 a year. By 30, you should be married with 2 kids and owning your house. Whoa, says who? Do not let these stereotypes, stigmas, or shackles control you. This is your life, and you are allowed to go at it at your own pace. I say this with caution because there are consequences to procrastinating on what you know you should be doing. It is also important to be somewhat selfish with your time, money, and energy. We were taught that being selfish is always a bad thing. However, you must take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. An old saying often used to describe the important acts of self-care and self-preservation is you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you do not have, and you should not give more to others than what you give to yourself. Sincerely, Kenny Glenn, success coach and entrepreneur.